This review has been brought to you in part by Main Irish Airsoft. Hey, welcome back to Oddie's Airsoft. Today we're going to have a quick look at this very budget gun. This is a entry-level model. This is the HK UMP 45 cal. Now the 45 cal stands for 45 caliber, unlike its 9mm counterparts that probably take a double tap to put someone down. You hit somebody with a .45, they're not going to get back up anytime soon. This was designed primarily for close quarter battling, for going in where you had to move fast and hard, and it has all the features of the standard close quarter battling guns. It has the typical stock that locks round. Again, you lift it up to put it on, and when you're taking it off, you do so very gently. These are made with sort of that reinforced nylon fiber, so they're not going to take a huge amount of punishment. They will last you if you take care of them, but a lot of people like to whack these round and slap them up and slap them down, and you're going to destroy a gun of this quality very, very quickly. They're not designed for that. So as I said, it is a basic budget piece. We've looked at some very high-end HK guns recently, so this is the low-end budget HK guns. Now this is retailing at about $159, and we're not really sure who makes it or who OEMs it, but we have a belief or a feeling that it's the SNT. The reason being, SNT Gearbox, the gearbox under the hood here is reminiscent of the Ares G36 Pro line, although this one is a little bit more of a budgeted, dumbed down version, but it's primarily the same thing, and all the components look very, very similar. Now, in the real world, these are very slow rates of fire. These guns, as I said, are designed to pack a punch, and they've tried to keep it a little bit true to the real steel, and obviously the rate of fire is reasonably slow, or anywhere between 12 and 15 BBs per second, dependent on the battery that you use. Now, it has a 400 round clip, and one of the biggest problems is it has a very, very small wheel. That means it can be a little bit more awkward, especially when you're under pressure in a fight, to actually wind and keep up. But unlike an M4 mag that you can wind a few times and it'll probably empty anywhere up to sort of 150 to 200 BBs per wind up. This you're probably only going to get around 40 or 50 BBs per wind up before you have to rewind. That's something to be aware of. The hop unit is basically found in here. It's a solid, reliable, typical rotary hop unit that's found in most of the G36 models. And as I said, it's designed primarily for if you're a gamer where you have your guns for going out and playing in open field. If you do get the odd CQB game and you wanted something small and handy to play with that looked a little bit more different from the usual standard M4s that are being used, then this is something that you're going to go for. And as I said, the trays are very muted on this, and that's because they've kept it similar to the actual, or identical to the real steel, and they've kept them very, very discreet, because apparently that's what the real steel looks like. Apart from that, it has a top rail, two side rails, bottom rail, and they're the only real sort of metally parts on the actual gun. There's not really much more else to say about it. If you're in the market for something that's a little bit sort of more, let's face it, when you're starting off, this is a starter's gun. But when you're starting off and you don't want an M4 and you don't really want an AK, you're going to have to move over to a G36 style gun. UMP's in that family, and it's certainly a little bit different from the typical G36C style guns that are out there. So as I said, this is one little thing. In the back, it has a quick access door to the spring, so you can do a very quick change on the spring if you're changing jurisdictions where you need to up your firepower. It's reminiscent of the Masada style of access, which is why we think this is an SNT box inside. But that's all I can really say on it. It's budget. It's ABS plastic all the way through. It's a solid performer. It doesn't get any returns. It's been sold in MIA for well over a year now, and it's a solid, reliable piece of kit. So there you go. That's the HK fully licensed UMP 45 cal, and you can check them out by going to Main Irish Airsoft. We'll see you in the next video, lads. This review has been brought to you in part by Main Irish Airsoft.